bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Our fine four-fendered friend, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang.
Remember that magical flying car that haunted your childhood dreams? Chitty Chitty. Bang Bang wasn't just a whimsical musical, it was a production nightmare wrapped in candy-coated chaos.
Why do they call this car Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Well, mostly for the noise it makes. It goes chitty chitty bang bang when you start it up.
Behind those cheerful songs and Dick Van Dyke's charm lurked budget disasters, tragic deaths, and creative decisions that nearly destroyed careers.
Don't you know where we're going?
No, I don't, but Chitty does.
Let's count down 20 shocking facts about the 1968 film that proves magic comes with a price. 20. The Ian Fleming connection. Nobody expected. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang came from Ian Fleming, yes, the James Bond creator, but this wasn't spy fiction. Fleming wrote the children's book while dying of heart disease.
Just look at my car, and just look what a mess I'm in too. Oh no, I think you're beautiful. And
completing it just months before his fatal heart attack in 1964. The whimsical car story was his final completed work, a stark departure from 007's violence. Fleming never saw the movie adaptation, making this posthumous project both tribute and exploitation of a dead author's legacy. 19. The absurd $10 million budget gamble. United Artists greenlit Chitty with a staggering $10 million budget. Astronomical for 1968, and more than most blockbusters.
In terms of cost, we expect the budget is $10 million on the film.
Producers Albert Broccoli and Harry Saltzman, flush with Bond money, bet huge on family entertainment. That budget equaled roughly $85 million today, and every penny showed in elaborate sets, the custom car, and massive cast. It was financial insanity, gambling Bond profits on a singing car movie with zero guarantee of returns. 18. Roald Dahl rewrote everything and hated it. Roald Dahl was hired to adapt Fleming's simple book into a feature screenplay, and he gutted it completely. Dahl invented the child catcher, Vulgaria, and most plot elements from scratch, barely keeping Fleming's original story. But Dahl despised the assignment, calling it hackwork done purely for money. He was contractually trapped, writing a script he loathed while longing to work on his own projects instead. 17. Dick Van Dyke's casting was pure desperation. Rex Harrison was the original choice for Caractacus Potts, but he demanded outrageous salary and creative control that producers refused. After Harrison walked, they scrambled for alternatives and settled on Dick Van Dyke, still recovering from his notorious Mary Poppins accent disaster. Van Dyke was cheaper, available, and bankable with family audiences. He wasn't anyone's first choice. He was the affordable backup plan when the real star said no. 16. The flying car sequences nearly killed crew. The aerial shots of Chitty flying over cliffs weren't movie magic. They used a real car suspended from helicopters with actors inside. Multiple near crashes during filming terrified cast and crew, with the car swinging dangerously close to cliff faces and trees. Safety protocols were minimal by modern standards, and several crew members refused further helicopter work after close calls. They risked actual death for those whimsical flying sequences audiences took for granted. 15. The child catcher traumatized entire generations. Robert Helpman's child catcher wasn't in Fleming's book. He was Roald Dahl's twisted invention, and he became the stuff of nightmares. His design deliberately evoked Nazi imagery with the long coat, and his child-hunting scenes terrified kids worldwide. Helpman received hate mail for decades from adults still traumatized by childhood viewings.
Children, Your Highness. Foreign children.
It's perhaps cinema's most disturbing family film villain, proving Dahl couldn't resist injecting darkness into even contracted hackwork. 14. The toy maker's hidden tragedy. Benny Hill played the lovable toy maker, but his casting masked production tension.
Children out of sight! Jared, hurry! If the soldiers find them, they will take them away!
But what?
Hill was primarily known for bawdy adult comedy, and family film producers constantly policed his improvisations, fearing inappropriate material. Hill chafed under restriction, and much of his footage got reshot when directors felt his performance skewed too adult. The cheerful toy maker we see was sanitized Hill, neutered and controlled, performing against his natural comedic instincts. 13. Anna Quayle's career-ending performance. Anna Quayle played the villainous Baroness Bombburst, and it destroyed her film career. Critics savaged her over-the-top performance as shrill and unwatchable, and the negative reviews blacklisted her from serious roles afterward.
Oh, the act fell a strewed hell over mine eye.
She'd been a respected stage actress, but Chitty typecast her as campy villain, and Hollywood never took her seriously again. One bad performance in a kid's movie derailed decades of theatrical credibility and future opportunities. 12. The Bulgaria set was recycled from other films. That elaborate Bulgaria castle and village, mostly repurposed sets from previous productions, redressed and repainted to save money despite the massive budget. The throne room recycled elements from period dramas, and the village square borrowed from earlier MGM backlot constructions. Even with $10 million, producers cut corners everywhere possible, using Hollywood's standard trick of making old sets look new, with different paint and camera angles. 11. The songs were deliberately dumbed down. The Sherman Brothers, fresh off Mary Poppins' success, wrote Chitty's songs, but were forced to simplify melodies and lyrics for broader appeal. Studio executives feared sophisticated music would alienate working-class audiences, demanding more repetitive, basic compositions. The Shermans complied reluctantly, producing catchy but simplistic songs they privately considered beneath their abilities. What audiences heard was intentionally dumbed-down music, calculated for maximum commercial accessibility rather than artistic achievement. 10. The box office. Disappointment. Everyone denied. Despite massive budget and hype, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang underperformed domestically, failing to recoup costs in initial release. United Artists publicly claimed success while privately panicking over disappointing returns. The film only became profitable through international sales and eventual re-releases, not the American blockbuster reception they'd expected. Studio executives quietly shelved further big-budget musical plans, and the success narrative was damage control covering financial anxiety and missed projections. 9. The mechanical car kept breaking down. The actual Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, 6 versions built for different functions, constantly malfunctioned during production. Mechanical failures delayed shooting for days, costing thousands per breakdown. The flying version was too heavy, the driving version stalled repeatedly, and the floating version nearly sank multiple times. That magical car was a temperamental nightmare held together with hope and duct tape, betraying its whimsical screen presence with off-camera mechanical disasters. 8. Gert Frobe couldn't speak English. Gert Frobe, playing Baron Bombburst, barely spoke English during filming and learned his lines phonetically without understanding them.
I have a secret mission for you. You will go ashore and we will capture that motor car.
His entire performance was dubbed afterward by another actor, Michael Ripper, because Frobe's accent was incomprehensible. Audiences never heard Frobe's real voice. They heard a British actor matching his lip movements. It's a complete vocal fraud, with Frobe essentially performing a silent role, later given someone else's voice in post-production. 7. The extended runtime killed audience patience. At 145 minutes, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang tested viewer endurance with excessive length. Test audiences complained about pacing, but producers refused to cut their expensive footage, insisting every scene justified its budget. The bloated runtime hurt box office, as theaters could schedule fewer daily showings, reducing revenue potential. Critics specifically attacked the interminable length, and modern viewers still struggle with the draggy second act that nobody had courage to trim. 6. The deleted scenes were actually essential. Major character development and plot clarification scenes got cut after initial screenings, leaving confusing narrative gaps. The Potts family's poverty motivation, the Baron's backstory, and the toy maker's resistance were all better explained in deleted footage. but runtime concerns forced cuts that actually made the story less coherent. Those scenes remain lost or unreleased, representing a more complete film audiences never got to see because producers valued brevity over clarity. 5. The child actors were borderline abused. Heather Ripley and Adrian Hall, playing Jemima and Jeremy, endured brutal shooting schedules with minimal child labor protections. Long hours, dangerous stunts, and psychological pressure from directors demanding perfection characterized their experience. Both children later discussed the traumatic production in interviews, describing it as grueling work disguised as magical filmmaking. The adorable kids on screen were exhausted, overworked children off camera, exploited by an industry with inadequate safeguards. 4. The title song became a copyright nightmare. The Sherman Brothers' title song, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, spawned decades of copyright disputes and licensing battles. Multiple parties claimed ownership stakes, leading to costly legal fights over royalties and usage rights. The catchy melody became a legal liability, with lawyers profiting more than songwriters in some years. It's one of cinema's most legally complicated songs, proving that commercial success breeds litigation when money gets involved. 3. The film's Nazi imagery was deliberately provocative. The Vulgaria sequences deliberately evoked Nazi Germany, the child hunting, the authoritarian regime, the fascist aesthetic, just 23 years after World War II ended. This wasn't accidental. Roald Dahl intentionally wrote Holocaust parallels into a children's film. Many European viewers, especially in Germany, found the imagery disturbing and inappropriate. The film weaponized recent trauma for entertainment, making light of genocide for family audiences who'd lived through actual fascist horror. 2. Sally Ann Howes replaced Julie Andrews, and everyone knew Sally Ann Howes played truly scrumptious only because Julie Andrews turned the role down. Producers wanted Andrews to reunite with Dick Van Dyke after Poppins, but she refused, recognizing the weak material. Howes was a consolation prize, and critics constantly compared her unfavorably to what Andrews would have done. She was talented, but forever branded as Andrews' replacement, a shadow casting over her entire performance and subsequent career. 1. The floating car scene nearly drowned the cast. The iconic sequence where Chitty floats across water wasn't CGI magic. It was a genuinely buoyant car with actors inside, and it nearly became a fatal disaster. The floating version was unstable and began taking on water mid-scene with Dick Van Dyke and the children trapped inside. Crew scrambled to rescue them as the vehicle listed dangerously, coming within seconds of capsizing and drowning the stars. Safety divers weren't positioned properly, and the near tragedy was hushed up immediately to avoid production shutdown and lawsuits. From child exploitation and Nazi imagery to career-destroying performances and on-set suffering, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang proves childhood magic costs more than ticket prices. If these dark secrets shocked you, hit that subscribe button so we can keep exposing what Hollywood hides behind the curtain. Keep your flying cars grounded and your childhood memories questioned.